2. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. The show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you do not know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Thisday.com
and historical calendar. For links to those sources, the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander.
And the lovely who is Alice.
And hopefully soon we will be joined by the Golden Loon.
The Loony Man of awesomeness.
Yeah. And of course, you today is, what is today? Moon's Day, aka Monday, July 31st, 2023. This is the last day you will see this backdrop until next year, or if I want to bring it out anytime before that. So yeah, this is our July backdrop, and tomorrow morning I gotta change all of our profiles with all of our video sharing, streaming sites, social networking, all that stuff. Go check out the underbar of the description. As I said, for links, our link tree is down there. Go check that out. Anyway, let's get into the history today, shall we? Miss Alice, do you want to start us off in 30 BC?
I think I can do this for you. I can accommodate this request. We have 30 BC, the Battle of Alexandria. Mark Antony achieves minor victory over Octavian, but most of his army subsequently deserts, leading to Octavian's invasion of Egypt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's unfortunate. Oh, wow. We have a couple here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 781 here. The oldest recorded eruption of Mount Fuji. The traditional Japanese date is July 6th, 781.
Yeah, they had their own calendar at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the oldest recorded eruption of Mount Fuji. Wow. I wonder, is Mount Fuji still even active?
It's technically dormant right now. I mean, it is still slightly active, but it's dormant for the most part right now.
Well, the volcano is considered active and has erupted more than 15 times since 781. However, Mount Fuji has been dormant since an eruption in 1707, and its last signs of volcanic activity occurred in the 1960s. Given concerns about the extensive damage that would be caused by an eruption, Fuji is monitored 24 hours a day.
Well, for the most part, it has been dormant, and then there was some activity that was going on there, but it didn't erupt or anything. They just found, they read, seismic stuff. So you want me to do the 1291 here, then?
Yes, please.
Okie dokies. So the Egyptian Malukan occupies Akko Crusaders driven out of Palestine. Okay, so yeah.
All right.
That's
we have just been joined by
the Golden Loon.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Pops.
Hey.
Pops, you should read 1415. Just do one. Just do one for us.
I can't see it from here. I have to go get my glasses.
Well, then get closer.
No, go ahead. Read them.
1415, the Southampton plot to assassinate English King Henry V and put Edmund Mortimer on the throne is uncovered. Ooh.
Ayo.
Yikes.
Isn't Southampton also the place where the Titanic left? Maiden voyage.
What ports?
Well, I mean, it did stop in Ireland at one point, but it's made it the first time it left port, I think, was Southampton.
Her voyage was from Southampton across the Channel to Cherbourg, then to Queenstown, which is nowadays Cope, the port of Cork, then out into the Atlantic towards New York, and we obviously know she struck an iceberg and all this stuff. So she started in Southampton.
Yep.
All right.
Good pull.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, thank you.
And speaking of voyages and whatnot, we have 1498. Christopher Columbus was the first European to discover the island of Trinidad on his third voyage.
Uh-huh.
All right. So
Trinidad, that's just north of Venezuela, right?
Let me look. Where is Trinidad? Trinidad and Tobago is a twin island country situated off the north edge of South American mainland.
Oh, so it is down there.
Dude,
Huh.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but apparently Lewis just told me Pee Wee Herman just passed away.
What?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. We might have some actual
From
history
cancer.
happening right now. Let's see.
Yeah,
Pee
Pee
Wee
Wee Herman
Herman.
just passed away.
Oh wow, Paul Rubens dies at 70. Oh wow.
He's
Huh.
the only man gangster enough to whack.
Yesterday. He died
You're on the
yesterday.
show, Lewis. Watch your language.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, but yeah, you've been struggling with cancer apparently, but yeah. No.
How about that?
Wow.
It's amazing he was 70.
Yeah, I'm sorry to like interrupt there. Like Lewis
No.
came
Well,
in.
no, that is actual history. Like, it's news, but it's history. Like, it will be history.
It is.
And
if we
now-
found yesterday.
Now he's up there with Large Marge in the Great Truck in the Sky.
Hey, dude, with Large Marge.
Large Marge. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is sad. So.
My heart just like kind of feels a little
Oh.
heavier right now. I mean, he's
Well-
like a child icon.
Yeah,
Anyways,
of
we gotta
course.
keep on with history here today.
We're going to move on up here to 1703. Daniel Defoe was placed in a pillory for the crime of seditious libel after publishing a politically satirical pamphlet, but he was pelted with flowers. That's cool. You know
Yeah.
what a pillory is, right?
What?
Yeah, that's where you have your head and arms like in like a wooden block, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
like
of course.
they put him in that, and then
yeah,
they throw tar feathers or stuff,
Yeah.
or like throw rocks at them.
yeah,
Well, they threw flowers at him, like
yeah.
just like, yeah, a guilty liar, guilty.
You know, actually, pillories should just be used still today, but we'll talk about that. another
yeah, I
time.
agree.
There were
Back to
certain
you,
people
Miss
who
Alice.
eat it. Damn, look at that neck. I'm sorry, but yeah, we have 1751. The fire in Stockholm destroys 1,000 houses.
Wow.
Do you know that when we came off the boat from Sweden and Norway, our last name was Nelson, but there were too many Nelsons, so we took the last letters of Stockholm.
Okay, let's not try to provide any information about our actual names on the shows, please. I do not want any form of
Yeah,
doxing.
well, no, we based. I don't care.
I
People
do.
want. All right, well, you're right. Fair enough. But no, like we derived our last names from that, so I think it was cool.
All right.
Anyway,
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, anyways, we're gonna go to 1777. We have General Lafayette, Marquis de Lafayette, aged just at 19, is made a major general of the Continental Army.
Wow. At 19, you're at 19 years old. He is leading regiments of men into battle, and many of them will die.
Yeah.
At
And became a
19.
general. Yeah.
Hey, at 19, I just wanted to surf.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I wish they would actually show a younger picture of him though, because like that looked like. I mean, I know he's wearing
Yeah.
a pompadour there, but
Well, there
Yeah,
was no
those are really
pictures back
young.
then, Alice. That's a painting, and they probably didn't have the means to paint him when he was 19. Like,
probably not.
Well,
Yeah, but like, look at
you know
how
what?
long his neck is on that.
that is a rather long neck. But you know what? Let's see here. Let's see if I can find young Marquis de Lafayette.
Maybe.
All right. Well, this definitely looks like a younger. The real face of the young Marquis de Lafayette postcard. So that's, I think, like created off of like de-aging, maybe. I keep trying to say equipment, software, de-aging software. Oh, here we go. Here's a young Lafayette.
There we go. Damn. Because like that one picture of him with the eyes right there, like all I can think of is like that Nicolas Cage gif where like the eyes keep rotating.
Oh yeah. Anyway, let's get back into the history here. We're going to move on up to
We have,
1790.
Well, I thought we were gonna do this this one right here.
Do you want to do that? Go for it.
Yeah, because it's my third one. So, 1786 poems, chiefly in the Scottish dialect by Robert Burns, known also as the Kilmarnock edition, is published by John Wilson in Kilmarnock, Scotland.
Oh. All right. Hence the name, the
Yep.
Kilmarnock edition. It was made in Kilmarnock.
Kilmarnock.
So, all
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, I hope I didn't botch that.
No, it's all right. Like, we can't be expected to be fluent in all dialects of the world, especially when we're covering things from all regions of the planet.
All places, yeah.
4 years later, in 1790, here we have the first U.S. patent was granted to Samuel Hopkins for a potash process.
Potash.
Potash.
What
the heck is
what's
that?
up with
I
that?
do not know. Let's figure that. Raw ore is fed into large crushers to make pieces more uniform in size. Crushed ore is fed into agitation tanks or scrubbers. Filled with a brine solution, this process is called de-sliming. The mixture is filtered, removing clay particles, leaving potash and sodium chloride. So potash is part of like what they separate during ore and stuff. What is potash used for? Potash is primarily in fertilizers, approximately 95%, to support plant growth, increase crop yield, and decrease resistance and enhance water preservation. Small quantities are used in manufacturing potassium-bearing chemicals such as detergents. So we mine it out of the ground and put it in our armpits.
Oh gosh.
Actually, no, detergents, not deodorants. So, well, I mean, we still do with bathing, in the showers or whatever. So, I'm still right. Accidentally.
Well, this is actually a good one to look into. This is a good call to read this one.
Yeah. 1792, the cornerstone was laid for the first U.S. government building, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia.
Oh.
All right.
Started the
in
building.
Philadelphia.
Yep. And then moving on up into 1809, we have the first practical U.S. railroad. It was a railroad track. It was wooden for horse-drawn cars in Philadelphia. So 1809, starting process of making railroads, starting down that tree. Wow. Like, now horse-drawn carts and such, and when you think about it, that's better than a paved road, because we had no idea that cars were coming or the Industrial Revolution or anything like that. So, and we of course, in the more built-up areas, we had cobblestone roads. Like we never.
Wonder how long it took from that point to get connect the east and west coasts.
Well, there's still
east, west.
Pops.
Yeah.
There's actually still an original cobblestone road in downtown St. Paul for the sake of history that they have still that they keep up on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds slick.
Yeah. To answer the
it's
Loon's question here.
It's pipestone. Technically pipestone because that's the big other mining thing that Minnesota does, and pipestone's kind of a reddish color.
All right. To answer the Loon's question here, by connecting the existing eastern U.S. rail networks to the west coast, the Transcontinental Railroad, known originally as the Pacific Railroad, became the first continuous railroad line across the U.S. It was constructed between 1863 and 1869, and this
That
was
took 60 years.
yeah. So let's do some math here.
1809, right?
Hold on a second.
1863 and
63 minus 9 took 54 years from the very first, practical U.S. railroad track made of wood until we connected east to west.
Yeah.
54 years. That's fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now we can do it in just a few years if we want to lay a new rail leg down. That's a crazy thing.
Are you kidding me? It'd take more than a few years just to get the permits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole conversation for the peanut. We got to continue on up here.
Not
Miss Alice, it's your turn. 1813. Go for it.
All right, we have 1813. The British invade Plattsburgh, New York.
Yeah, during the War of 1812, which is a confusing name for that war.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what year did the War of 1812, take place? 1812.
Yeah,
Oh, that is correct, but only a partial answer. It's 1812 to 1814. And why is it not called the War of 1812 to 1814?
Why don't you just call it the stupid British invasion?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first one. The second time it was more successful with the Beatles.
Oh.
Yeah, at least it was music.
Yeah. 1849 here.
Oh, no. Maybe when we came for, I don't know. But we have 1849 here. We have the American engraver Benjamin Chambers patents breech loading cannon.
That's major. That is absolutely major, because before that everything was muzzle loaded. You fire cannon. Now you have to get in front of it, clean it out, do all that stuff, reload. With a breech loader, you can keep the cannon out there, just pop the stuff back in, fire, pop it back in, fire. Like it's.
Yeah, for those who don't know, show what it looks like.
All right, breech loading cannon. Like, everybody should know what a breech loader looks like, though, because we still have it for our modern day artillery. Like this.
Yeah.
This it's an invention that's what was this year? 1849.
Yep.
So let's see here. 2023 minus 1849. It is a 174-year-old invention that, has had,
Still relevant.
yeah, like obviously it's been improved upon, but its base is still the same. You pop the door open, unload the last shell, put in the next one, close it up, pull the string, repeat.
Yep.
Like,
Rinse,
really, really simple.
cycle, repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, we also have another one here. We have in 1863, we have the first surgery under the kerosene lamp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
1853.
Yeah, and not only was it under a kerosene lamp, it was at nighttime too.
Mm-hmm.
So the surgery was performed at Lekakiv Hospital in Lemberg. Now, that was in Ukraine. Holy crap!
Ah.
It was using new kerosene oil lamps that were invented by Ignacy Lukalievich.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. That's weird. When I wrote this, it says Lviv, Poland. Now it's saying Lviv, Ukraine.
Lviv? Yeah, no, that's. I'm pretty sure that's Ukraine.
Let's see if there is a Lviv, Poland. Okay, Lviv is Ukraine. Okay. So that's weird, because I literally copy, because when I research I literally double click, copy, and I paste it, and then I put it, into that script. And so last night it said Lviv, Poland. So that's just weird. Lviv is in Ukraine, so somebody screwed that up, until today.
Yep.
Huh. That's odd.
Absolutely. Well, no, that's an interesting one, but now it's your turn, my friend.
No, you take this one here.
Oh, shit, snacks. I mean, poop snacks. Yeah. Hang on here. We got, what year is this? 1856 in Christchurch, New Zealand is chartered as a city finally.
Happy birthday, Christchurch.
Mumsy. Christchurch. Hey, Mumsy, I know you're from the North Island, but hey, South Island. Woohoo, yeah.
Getting a little bit of a rivalry energy going on over here.
No, it's from she's from the North Island, not the South Island. But Christchurch is part of the South Island. But also, a little quick fact that there was a major earthquake back in 2016 or 2018. We talked about this before.
I thought it was 2009, the Christchurch earthquake.
Yeah, it will actually lifted the seabed up and not down.
Oh, you're right. Well, there's a 2011 one right here, and then there was a 2016.
Yeah, 2016 is the one where it lifted it lifted part of the seabed up I think 10 feet or something like that.
Well, I mean, You want to talk about crazy? That earthquake, and I think it was 2011 that hit Fukushima. Off the coast of Japan, shifted the entire island. What was it? Several feet? Shifted the island. The entire island of Japan got shifted. Yikes!
Well, also, there's been earthquakes that are so massive that they actually can slightly slow down the Earth's rotation.
Oh yeah, no, that happened too. It affects the Earth's rotation. You change mass. It's it's like if you have a ball spinning in water or something. If you suddenly without interrupting the spin, if you can add mass to it or take it away, it will affect the spin because you're destabilizing its centralized gravity.
Yeah.
It's a center of gravity. So yeah, but we gotta get back in the show here. We're gonna move on up to 1864. Ulysses S. Grant was named General of Volunteers. All right.
Damn.
And 1 year later, in 1865, the first narrow gauge mainline railway in the world opened at Grantchester, Australia. A narrow gauge mainline railway. What is that? Let me look that up here real quick.
Gauge, yeah, gauge.
I guess just standard railway. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Narrow gauge, I believe, is the track itself. Question mark.
Sounds like it.
Oh. Actually, let me look this up on the non-image. Narrow gauge railway. Here we go. Wikipedia is a railway with a truck gauge narrower than the standard. Yeah, most narrow gauge railways are between 600 millimeters. Okay, so I'll just add this to the underbar of the description post stream.
It's the gauge that the trains ride on.
Yeah. And we also have in 1876, U.S. Coast Guard Officers Training School was established in New Bedford, Massachusetts. All right.
There we go. Hell yeah.
And back to you, Miss Alice. This one's pretty cool.
Oh, well, here we have in 1879 the first cable connection between South Africa and Europe laid by the British electrical engineer Charles Tilson. Tilson Bright, right?
Yeah.
Charles Tilson Bright. As part of his project to link the British Empire and growing telecommunications technology.
All right. So yeah, South Africa was, a colony of Britain, and now they have like a direct line to it. So there we go.
Yeah, from Europe to South Africa. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We also have in 1993, we have Gaelic League is founded by Douglas Hyde and Elon.
Eoin?
Is that an I or is that an
That's
L?
an I. Eoin?
Eon.
Eoin.
McNeil. Ian McNeil. In order to encourage Irish people to speak language and take greater interest in their culture.
All right. That's cool.
That's kind of cool, yeah. So they're basically trying to like bring back the Gaelic language and stuff.
Yep.
Which I think is very interesting. Like I'm interested in the Russian language and Gaelic actually.
Mm.
So
I'm interested in a lot of languages. I had a friend who was like really into it. He learned how to read Arabic and write, and then slowly was starting to learn to speak. And it's a real shame because like he was actually sent out to Morocco twice, like Morocco, in Western Africa, to study Arabic, and he actually had ambitions of becoming a translator, maybe working in the UN, and I don't know what happened, but he just kind of threw that all away, and now he's just working in some hospital as some one of those big machines that scans your brains, like an MRI, whatever technician, which, that's cool, but
probably more money in it.
Yeah, well, definitely, it's in the hospital. But I mean, don't live your life chasing the dollar. Live your life chasing your dreams.
Exactly.
Because you do need money. You do need to feed yourself. But I've met a lot of people who got so preoccupied in making a living that they forgot how to make a life, and it's really sad.
Oh.
So,
Damn.
but let's move on up here. 1911, Hungarian education.
That's what I was actually reading. I was like, damn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, no, you started it. So
1911, Hungarian education was only taught in German. That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Huh.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
Then 1 year later, in 1912, the U.S. government prohibited movies and photos of prize fights for censorship. I don't understand why. That's weird. But then we also have in 1914, German Emperor Wilhelm II threatened war, ordered Russia to demobilize. And we spoke yesterday that Russia was mobilizing because of Austria-Hungary.
Yep. Yeah.
And now Germany is just like, yo, what are you doing? And here we go. Actually, hold on a second.
Exactly.
When did World War I start? We're coming up here, actually. World War I starts.
Yep. This is
July 28th. Actually, it already has started.
Yeah, well, actually, I was saying there was a system. There's a
Friday.
whole system, and it was like a domino effect that led to World War I,
Yeah.
or also known as the world to end all wars. Huh.
Well, what the hell? How come we didn't see Archduke Franz Ferdinand? I know we did a show on Friday. Why didn't I see that? Hold on, I have to do some sleuthing here. Let me calendar 28th. The loon is probably heading out due to flashes. Let's see here. 1914. Wow. It doesn't even show. Alice, are you seeing this?
Yeah, Austria-Hungary.
It doesn't even show Franz Ferdinand. It just says 1914, Austria-Hungary decides against meditation and declares war on Serbia, or against mediation. First declaration of war, World War I.
World War I, yeah. Dude, what the?
Well, hold on a second.
That's a huge piece of information right there, and they're not even putting it in? Wow, you guys.
Hold on a second.
I hope this
June.
website people are watching
June.
us because...
No, hold on. Franz Ferdinand was assassinated June 28th. So, that was last month. So, hold on a second. So, July...
That was exactly a month ago.
Hold on a second. July 20th. Here we go. June. Give me June. Search.
So yeah, that was the kickstart of the
Yeah, World War One.
thing.
Ferdinand. Franz. What? Okay, well, you know what? We got to keep on with the show here. I think this is something that needs to be... Yeah. Anyway, Miss Alice, let's move on up here to 1917. Here we go. This should be highlighted, actually.
It should be too. In 1917, World War One, Battle of Passchendaele, the third battle of Ypres. Yeah, Passchendaele. Thank you. The third battle of Ypres begins. Goes on cause approximately 500,000 casualties in total with that battle.
Yeah, casualties refers to both killed and wounded. So,
yeah, casualties. Yeah, so
Actually,
probably I would say about half of them died, or maybe all of them died. I mean, World War One was really brutal. Like you had mustard gas and everything going on during that time, and now we have there's an accordance of how war should be. You can't use gas.
It says here, how many soldiers died at Passchendaele? Although it is difficult to calculate exact numbers, around 325,000 Allied and 260,000 German soldiers died in the Battle of Passchendaele. Among the Allied deaths were 36,000 Australians, 2,500 New Zealanders, 16,000 Canadians. Some 42,000 bodies have never been recovered. Wow.
So, yeah, so over 500,000 people died.
Yeah.
And some have never been recovered.
Yikes.
So yeah, that's probably that's a pretty brutal battle. How long did that battle last for, too?
Let's see here. Battle of Passchendaele. July 31st, 1917 through November 10th, 1917. So July, August, September, November. So 3 months, roughly. 2 months in a week and a half or something like that. But still, these battles lasted a long time. It was a war of attrition. There was no real way. Once people were dug in, it was an act of God to get them out. And so you have both sides and literally fighting for years and years over the same ground just to move forward, literally several inches. And that's why tanks were invented. It was a way to break the line, in the stalemate.
That's the trench. Well, the trench war is wars are just bad in general. That's the dubbing name of trench foot.
Well, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
Exactly.
Something has to give.
Yeah, something gives eventually.
Yeah. So
we also have the 1919. This is my third one, right?
Yeah. Well, take these two actually.
Okay, so the Weimar Constitution establishing the German Republic is adopted in 1919. And then we're going to go a few years forward to 1922. 18-year-old Ralph Samuelson rides world's first water skis in Minnesota.
Hey!
Hi-oh!
Too bad you're from Wisconsin.
The invention of the water skis comes from Minnesota.
But I want to go back to 1919. That's after the First World War. The Weimar Constitution, that's the post-war government of Germany. So that's pretty big.
So it happens again, yeah. The Weimar Constitution, that's a huge one right there.
Yeah.
Only for it to probably falter a little bit later on in history.
Now, while Ralph Samuelson was doing that with water skis, 1922 as well, general strike in Italy against fascist violence. Ooh, here we go. So people rebelling against Mussolini, it sounds like.
How long was, what years was Mussolini in rule, though? And I can't remember how long he was in Italy, ruling.
When did Mussolini get power?
So this might be pre-1922. So right when he started.
So the march took place on October 28th and 29th, 1922, and it precipitated the collapse of the Italian government. On October 31st, Halloween, King Victor Emmanuel III named Mussolini the new prime minister, ushering in more than 2 decades of fascist rule in Italy. Let's not forget that Mussolini was Adolf Hitler's idol. That's why Hitler turned into fascism. He just took an invention and perfected it.
Yeah.
You know, well,
I wouldn't call it perfecting.
well,
but, making it more precise.
what else? You know, perfecting it is. I don't know what else to say. Like, because I wouldn't say better it because there's nothing good about fascism. Like,
No.
how would we describe it? Because he took it to the next level. I guess would be a better way.
That's
but
another way of saying it.
But that's interesting. Halloween is when Mussolini took power, and that's also the birthday of our resident Scotty Bugatti. So that's a little like happy birthday, happy anniversary of the birth of fascism. Like, whoops.
Scotty's not gonna like that, but then one of my friends is probably not gonna like it. Her birthday is Halloween as well. She's one of my best friends. She's a Native American from a small tribe out in North Dakota.
Anyway, let's move on up here. 1925 Unemployment Insurance Act was passed in Britain. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to you, Miss Alice. We have a couple 1928s for you.
All right, so we have 1928. Helena Konopaka. Yeah. Helena Konopaka. Poland. Paris discusses world record 39.62 meters to win the first gold medal in women's Olympic athletics at the Amsterdam Games. American Lillian. Oh my God, my niece calling me. Sorry.
Oh.
I was trying to read the rest of that. Lillian Copeland and Ruth Sledberg of Sweden take minor medals as well.
All right.
So we got Sweden, we got Copeland, and we got Poland there. Look at that. So yeah, these are the Olympics during the summer. Obviously, the Summer Olympics.
Yeah. We got another 28 here.
Yeah, in the first women's Olympic track event, American sprinter Elizabeth Robinson. I know. Wow, that was weird how I didn't say Elizabeth for a second there. Elizabeth Robinson equals her own world record of 12.2 seconds to win a 100-meter gold medal in Amsterdam, and the Canadians Fanny Rosenfield.
Her name is Fanny!
I can't help it. Whenever I hear the name Fanny, it just makes me giggle.
Fanny.
But we have Fanny Rosenfield and Ethel Smith dead heat at 12.3 seconds. So they both tied, apparently. The Canadian
Fun fact. Fanny is British slang for women's private parts.
Well, no, that's
It's Fanny.
well, that's any private part. Like your butt is it's butt.
No. Like in U.S., fanny means the butt. In the U.K., fanny means the female front parts.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. No, this is why, why it's such a joke. You know, U.S. tourists go over to Britain. Oh, let me grab my fanny pack. You really are putting something in that, aren't you? Whoa.
It's a pouch. Like, we want to be marsupials, you know?
Oh, God. Anyway, we're going to move on up to 1938. Archaeologists discovered engraved gold and silver plates from King Darius in Persepolis. Wow.
Oh, damn.
King Darius. That's back there.
Well, wasn't that also around the time that
What?
King Tut was, like, discovered? Or was that the 20s, too, as well?
King Tut, I believe, was 22. And I know that for a fact because I wanted to make an Oka about that. When was King Tut discovered? I believe it was 1922. Yeah, right there.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because I knew like they were finding some major for like 20 years. You just got these huge like archaeological discoveries out in like Egypt of these guys, and so yeah, this is pretty fucking awesome. I mean, freaking awesome. Pardon my French. I mean, pardon my German.
Anyway, why don't you take this 38 here? Jake Powell suspended.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we have 1938. We have Major League Baseball baseballer, Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis suspends New York Yankees outfielder Jake Powell after he said on Chicago radio he kept in shape by cracking African Americans over the head with his nightstick.
Wow.
Good grief.
Wow. I am astonished. Wow. Like, I know we read this last year, but like this is just wow. Like,
he should have just been suspended for that. He should have just been.
He should have been
dropped.
banned. You don't attack anybody. Like blacks, white, you don't hit people with nightstick. Why? Like, oh.
Well, I
geez.
guess in 1938, that kind of lingo was like acceptable, which I don't think it should have been.
Right.
But I mean,
Well,
then
I'm pretty
again,
sure.
you also have.
I'm pretty sure back in 1938 he didn't call them African Americans. I'm pretty sure he called them the N-word. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Anyway,
And the N-word isn't nice.
yeah. Well, speaking of one N-word to another, in 1940, Nazi Rijksmissionaar of the Netherlands, Arthur Sees Ingwart, banned homosexuals. Wow. Well, not good. And by the way, for the sake of time, I'm going to just rattle off several articles here real quick. Moving on up to 1941, U-boats sink and damage 21 Allied ships this month, which is 80,521 tons. 1942, German SS gassed 1,000 Jews in Minsk, Belarusia. 1943, transport number 58 departed with French Jews to Nazi Germany. 1944, last deportation train out Mechelin departed to Auschwitz. 1944 as well, transport 77 departed with French Jews to Nazi Germany. Then 1945, Pierre Laval, fugitive, former leader of Vichy France, surrendered to Allied soldiers in Austria. So, leaving that.
Imagine you're living in France and they're conquered, and then they ship you off to Auschwitz.
Well,
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I can't
I mean,
imagine it
that's-
because I live in California. The United States is a conquered nation of a certain group of people. And, people like me are greatly, under the thumb. We can't do things. So I know a little bit. Like, we're not to the point of the Holocaust yet, but, we're getting there. So, anyway, Miss Alice, let's get back to you. Let's go up to 1951 here. Let me find it. Here we go.
1951? Oh. In 1951, Japan Airlines is established.
All right.
Are they even around still, though? I doubt it.
Let's
Maybe.
see. Japan Airlines. Looks like they might still be.
Damn, they are.
Yeah.
Shit, snacks. They lasted longer. They've been. The Northwest was.
Huh.
This Delta bot.
Well,
Northwest.
hey, the Japanese, when they get their nose to the grindstone, they get things done. They are
they sure
industrious
do.
and efficient people. So.
Oh, well, I could do the 1955 here, the KRNT in 1955.
Well, how about this one here? The 1954.
Oh, 1954, yes, you're right. First ascent of K2 by an Italian expedition led by Ardito Desio.
K2 being one of the tallest mountains in the world, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also a
well,
brand of
aside from
skis
at
that
Mount
you have
Everest.
K2s.
Yeah, here we go. K2 at 8,611 meters above sea level is the second highest mountain on Earth after Mount Everest at 8,849 meters. Wow, so only a couple hundred meters. So.
Well, I think they also.
They also what?
For skiing,
Yeah.
you're on
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I remember, a couple months ago, one of the articles of the history show we were doing. We spoke about the first person to snowboard down Mount Everest.
Oh, really?
So that means that he climbed Mount Everest, which is a feat in itself, with a snowboard, and then just rode the slopes back down. That is wicked awesome. Because there are no chairlifts.
Yeah,
no. You gotta get up there
to
yourself.
Mount Everest. Yeah.
But Alice, for your third one, let's take this 1958.
1958, we have
Oh, you're breaking up, Alice. Are you moving around?
No,
Oh.
I'm right here in
You're
front of my
cutting in and out.
laptop. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound good.
All right, anti-Chinese uprising in Tibet.
Yep. Free
Which
Tibet.
also, I think, didn't they do a movie 7 years in Tibet? Is kind of based on that time period.
Yeah,
of,
that. I wanted to watch that movie, and it came out in select theaters out here, and I was really concerned about going over there and with how things are, with this. I might get accosted and assaulted. That happens all the time out here because of people like this. So.
Well, the Dalai Lama, since he was he's been like, he's not allowed to go back to Tibet right now. He's
Yeah.
forever having to travel because if he goes back to Tibet, the Chinese government will capture him and imprison him.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's move on up here to 1960. Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam, called for a black state. So, like, just black people? Like, is that what that means? Like, a black state?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But where are you going to carve that out of?
Oh, that's a little prejudice, so...
Is it a black state, or was he looking for an independent country?
No, it's the, like, the black...
Yeah.
Could you imagine wanting a white state?
Oh, God. Yeah, good luck having that go over today. In 1981 or 1961, speaking of white states, Israel welcomes its 1 millionth immigrant. Huh. All right.
Well, there you go.
1964, Al Parker glided 644 miles without a motor. Whoa.
Huh.
So, and see, like, that made me think, like, there's, like, I don't remember the exact number, but, like, the world's largest bird, the albatross, if it's, because its wingspan is so big, it covers such a wide area, like a big plane, if it gets on the correct currents, it can literally just be like this and not flap for thousands of miles. Thousands. Just chilling up in the air, just being like this. Like, because it's so much surface area, if it gets enough current under it, it can just keep on going, the jet streams and all that stuff. So, 644 miles in a glide, wow, like, you have enough surface area, you get the right winds, and it'll keep you aloft. So.
Yeah.
But we have another 1964 here for you, Miss Alice.
Well, we have in 1964, U.S. Ranger 7 takes 4,316 pictures before crashing on the moon.
Ooh, that's a lot of pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take these next three. I have no problem with this one.
All right.
All right. In 1965, cigarette advertising banned on British TV, which I think eventually soon followed, like in the 80s or something, that you couldn't advertise, or 70s, you couldn't advertise cigarette smoking in the United States.
Absolutely couldn't. I forget the decade exactly. And same thing with
Like
alcohol.
the 70s or 80s or something like that.
No, they didn't ban alcohol. There's still commercials for Bud Light.
No,
and
yeah,
stuff
there's
out
still
there.
commercials for
TV?
alcohol, but not cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I
Yeah.
thinking then? Alcohol was banned somewhere. I don't know.
Well,
But yeah, cigarettes, I remember when that was taken off.
now speaking of cigarettes, this is a point I made on Saturday after we saw Oppenheimer, but like back in like the 50s, 60s, 70s and such, something you saw often in movies and whatnot is cigarette smoking, pipe smoking, tobacco, consumption. Then that got put the kibosh on, but then in Oppenheimer, you almost always see him like either with a pipe in his hand or a cigarette in his mouth. Almost always.
Yeah.
Like he always has something.
Probably a chain smoker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody like with like him, nervous, like. But I mean, like it's just in today's culture, like they would have like, especially you think about like they remade like E.T. They took away all the guns in the police officer's hand and replaced them with walkie-talkies. Like the overwokeness of Hollywood. Back in like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, so you would have think that with how things are today with Hollywood and all that stuff. Oh, you can't show him smoking. Just have a lollipop in his mouth or something.
Now, let me give you a story about wonderful California. A little off track, but I'll do it quick. Walked up to a guy who works for me. We have to smoke outside. We don't smoke in the building. Anyways, and he's got a cigarette, and he's got a little plastic piece that's like a point, and he's jamming it down into the filter of a cigarette. And he pulls it out, and he takes this little tube, and I'm watching him, I'm standing there watching him, and he jams this little tubey thing down in there, and I go, what the hell are you doing? He says, well, menthol cigarettes are now banned in California. So someone came up with this little thing, you stick it in your filter, you bite down on it, and you have a menthol cigarette. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So that's what California's done lately. Ban menthol cigarettes.
Yeah, you guys are just going downhill out there.
Yeah, is that amazing?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I think they're just forcibly pushing you all out, so like all the liberals go and like make those red states blue.
Yeah.
Anyway, Miss Alice,
Anyways,
let's do these
I want to
two
do
here.
1966 here. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can do 1967, my friend.
Take these, Alice. Take these next two, and then I'm gonna do a really quick rattle off.
All right, cool. All right, so we have 1966, two Alabama radio hosts, Tommy Charles and Doug Layton of WAQY in Birmingham, asked listeners to send in Beatle albums and merchandise to burn in response to John Lennon's anti-Jesus remark that Christianity will go.
Whoa! Huh.
Yeah, God damn it, John Lennon. I mean,
Wow.
God
I
darn.
remember when they said they were more popular than Jesus.
Yeah. Well, no, like, one of my favorite quotes from a series, comes from F is for Family. And there was this one scene where they were attending church, and the pastor said something along the lines of, John Lennon said the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, so as punishment, God sent them Yoko Ono.
Yeah, I've heard that joke too. Like,
Yeah.
I think you told me it too.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna go 1 year later. We have 1967, the Rolling Stones lead frontman, Mr. Mick Jagger, and his heart-turning crime, who I'm amazed how he's still alive. Keith
Yeah.
Richards is released from jail in England after serving 1 month on drug charges.
Wow.
How is Keith Richards alive? Like, you know what? I'm
That's
shocked
amazing.
that Lane Staley died.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do some
But-
quick rattle-offs to bring us up into 1969. The National Guard mobilized in racial disturbances in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We know about that. 1 year later, 1970, we have Black Tot Day, the last day of the officially sanctioned rum ration in the Royal Navy, which started in 1740.
Whoa.
So, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 200 years.
Yep. 1971, Apollo 15 astronauts took a 6.5-hour electric car ride on the moon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
While that was happening, Venezuela's hydrocarbons reversion law mandated gradual transfer to government ownership of all, quote, unexploited concession areas, end quote, by 1974, and, quote, all their residual assets, end quote, by 1983. Whatever that means. It's 1972, we have Operation Motorman. The British Army used 12,000 soldiers supported by tanks and bulldozers to retake the no-go areas controlled by the Provisional Irish and Republican Army. More operations in the Troubles there. 1973, Delta Airlines DC-9 crashed in fog at Logan Airport in Boston, killing all but one of the 89 aboard. The lone survivor dies 5 months later, and I kind of suspect suicide. So if anybody, because survivor's guilt is a real thing. And it eats people up, like why am I the only one who
Yeah, but
why
that's
me?
a hell of a assumption on your part.
They died 5 months later from
Could have died from injury.
suicide or because of complications.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it is definite. I'm just saying I presume it. But I want to also bring up this as a challenge to the viewers. If anybody would like to go down that rabbit hole and tell us, please inform us in the comment section below what this person passed away from. I really hope it wasn't survivor's guilt though, because that's just that's hell.
More than likely, it was complications
Yeah.
from healing because if everybody died, there's probably severe burns and wounds that if they survived, they are probably in the hospital that entire time.
Yeah.
From a plane crash.
Especially 5 months. That's pretty quick after it. Where complications it definitely set in. And
Well, let me.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2 people initially survived, but later died of their injuries. So there you go.
okay,
Okay.
Yep. Told you.
reportedly.
Well, it's not that you told me, Alice. You're presuming just as much as I do. Don't stand there and say, "Oh, I was right." I never claimed
We disputed your
validation.
presumption. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Disputed
Well,
your
no. If
presumption.
it comes to plane crashes, I would assume that
Alice, you
those people
can't.
eventually-
You're discounting survivor's guilt too much, though. It's still a possibility.
Move on.
Anyway, 1976, we have St. Gilles Independence, their Independence Day. So once again, July seems to be the month of independence. There's Canada Day at July 1st.
What is that?
Seychelles. Let's look that up here real quick. Seychelles. They're islands. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Seychelles is an archipelago of 115 islands in the Indian Ocean off East Africa. It is home to numerous beaches, coral reefs, and nature reserves, as well as rare animals such as giant Aldabra tortoises. Mahe, a hub for visiting the other islands, is home to the capital of Victoria. It also has the mountain rainforest of Morne Seychelles National Park and beaches including Biu, Vallon, and Ansi Takamaka. Huh.
So it sounds like they declared their independence from Britain then.
Most likely. Yeah, East Africa, most likely Britain, yeah. Well, like, Britain was, the big empire, so...
Yeah, but this is quite a bit later.
Yeah. 1981, which, by the way, we have a new person in this show. Welcome, welcome. I have stream enabled up, so I can't see your name, so I'm going to call you the Spaceman for now.
I can check.
All right.
He has like the little, like, floating man.
He's one of the newcomers, I believe I just brought in earlier today.
Awesome.
But
nice.
anyway...
Well, you should read 1978. Like, actually, if anybody should read it, your dad, Papa Duke, should read
well,
this
he
one.
says he can't see. He doesn't have his glasses.
No, that's right.
So, I'll take this. Like, for the sake of time, I still want to rattle off until we get to 1990. So let's see here. 1978, Cincinnati infielder Pete Rose singled off Phil Necro. That's a weird name. Necro. To extend his hitting streak of 244 games as Reds edge Atlanta Braves 3-2, tied with Willie Keeler's 81-year-old National League record. Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, an 81-year-old
The
record.
reason why I wanted you to read
44
Pete
games
Rose
in a
is
row.
because he's still to this day banned from the Major League, attending any game
Yeah.
Damn.
for baseball.
We're going to move on up here. 1981, Arnett Hubbard installed as first woman president of National Bar Association. All right. So, like, National Bar Association, is that like law, or is that like alcohol bar?
No, that's legal.
Hold on a
lawyer.
second. There we go. The National Bar Association was founded in 1925 and is the nation's oldest and largest national network of predominantly black U.S. attorneys and judges. Okay, so it's mostly black.
NRA. You've heard
The
of
Bar
NRA?
Association?
Well, yeah, the NRA is National Rifle Association.
Oh, that's true.
Are you talking about the NAACP?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the NRA.
No, this is the Bar Association. This has everything to do with lawyers and stuff. You have to pass the bar to become a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, just double checking to be
I'd
sure.
rather have a drink.
Yeah. 1987, a rare Class F4 tornado ripped through Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, killing 27 people and causing $330 million in damage. An F4 tornado in Canada? Wow.
Yeah, well, you also missed the blue 1980 hurricane.
1980 Hurricane Allen formed in the Atlantic Ocean, will go on to become the strongest hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin with winds of 190 miles per hour and 305 kilometers per hour. Wow. Why did I not put that in there? Well, because it's not highlighted. They're hiding things from me.
Well, they made it blue. They didn't make it black. They made it blue.
Well, still, whoops, I did not want to do that. Well, Shift Enter skips a whole page. I learned that. Let's see here. What else do we have? 1987, we got that. Miss Alice, you want to take this 1990 Bosnia one as soon as I find it here. Guys,
Bosnia.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, here we go.
In 1990, Bosnia Herzegovina declares independence. And this is like thus the the beginnings of the Bosnian, like, conflict war.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, is that like, they were an Eastern Bloc country, right? Bosnia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, just a couple years before the fall of the Soviet Union itself.
I think Owen Wilson actually portrayed somebody, like, right during the, no, it's Beyond Emily Lines or something like that. I think that,
but we can't banter for too much longer, Alice. We got to move on up because
I know. I'm just saying.
See, this one
there's a
here.
little thing about that. Anyways, in 1991, we have Russia and U.S. sign long-range nuclear weapons reduction pact.
Ah, okay.
Also, same day, the Senate votes to allow women to fly combat aircrafts.
All right, that's the U.S.
Women drivers.
That is freaking
Women
awesome.
pilots.
Well,
Like,
I'll be
see,
one.
women drivers are at least on the ground. Now they're airborne.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, actually, women do have faster reactions, and we can take G-forces better than men.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Look it up.
all right. I'm trying to find this 1994. There's a lot in 1994. Here, take this one, and then we'll get back to me.
The UN votes 12-0 to absentees, right? Is that abstinence?
Abstention. Basically, people who decided not to vote. So.
Yeah, okay, abstentions. To authorize use of force against Haiti. Oh.
Huh. So what was going on with Haiti? Like, I was a kid, so.
I'm trying to remember.
And then in 1995, Walt Disney announces the acquisition of Capital Cities ABC for $19 billion. Network of properties now consists of Disney, ABC Sports, ESPN, ESPN2, and there's a bunch more since that.
Oh,
so.
yeah, no, the Disney empire is
Now
truly...
they're looking for buyers.
Yeah, now they might be bought out by Apple, which, like, I remember, like, months ago, I saw murmurings in the grapevine talking about that, and then now it's actually become public. Like, wow. Let's see here. We're going to move on up to 1999. During the Discovery program, Lunar Prospector, NASA intentionally crashed the spacecraft into the moon, thus ending its mission to detect frozen water on the moon's surface. Huh. All right.
They found something they didn't want to see, so they crashed it intentionally.
Or maybe it was like, you know, running out of juice or something, like, or obsolete.
Or maybe they saw something.
I don't know. They crash things into planets all the time. So, like...
Well, you know,
all I know is now we got crap on the moon.
Yeah. Then we're going to move on up to 2002. Polaroid Corporation was purchased by One Equity Partners, continuing to operate under the Polaroid Corporation name. All right. We all know Polaroid, you know,
Yeah.
shake the pictures. Instant, what's the word?
Development.
Thank you. Yeah, development. And then 2006, Fidel Castro temporarily handed over power to his brother Raul Castro. This led to a celebration in Little Havana, La Pequeña Habana in Spanish, Miami, Florida, where many Cuban U.S. citizens participated. All right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Florida Cubans aren't big fans of Castro.
There's a reason why they fled the country.
Yeah.
So, back to you, Miss Alice. You have a 2007 here.
Operation Banner. The presence of the British Army in Northern Ireland becomes to an end, longest running British Army operation ever.
Wow. So, Operation Banner.
Also, basically sneaking in on the Irish. Like, I don't know why, like, Britain really has like a hard on for Ireland, but
well,
Ireland
because they're conquerors people. Like at one point, they controlled like 25% of the landmass of the earth. So
yeah. Well, also think about like how much like Genghis Khan did too. But like the fact that even to this day that they were still having like, and still to this day, they have a hard on for Ireland.
Well, let's try to use less visceral language. But Operation Banner, he was the operational name for the British Armed Forces operation in Northern Ireland from 1969 to 2007 as part of the Troubles. It was the longest continuous deployment in British military history. Link to that wiki will be in the underbar of the description below after the live stream, of course. But then what else do we got here? Let's move on up. 2012, a second power grid failure in India in 2 days left 670 million people without power. Wow! Yesterday we covered one with 300 million. I thought that was high. This is more than twice that much.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, what is going on in India?
The power grids can be a little poor in certain areas.
Yeah. And while that was happening, 2012 as well, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band performed their longest show ever at Olympia Stadium in Helsinki, Finland, clocking in at 4 hours and 6 minutes.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's Bruce Springsteen, dude.
Yeah.
That like Bruce Springsteen's like the bee's knees. He is talented.
4 hours and 6 minutes is a long show, but that's not as long as our New Year's extravaganza we had.
No.
10 hours. Oh, I'm never doing that again.
Qatar that whole time?
Yeah,
we're doing it again. This New Year's, we're doing it again,
well,
dude.
Awesome.
Then you're hosting, Alice. I'm not going to do that again. That was hell. Oh.
Anyway, let's move on up, bud.
Yeah, third 2012 here, Michael Phelps became the greatest medal winner in Olympic history as part of the winning U.S. 4x200 meter freestyle relay team in London. Phelps' 19th career Olympic medal and 15th overall gold. Wow.
Yeah, all for them to be retracted because he tested positive for weed once.
Yeah, that's this guy at one point was decorated almost like a Soviet general. Like he had so many medals, ridiculous.
Dude, he was amazing, dude. I used to be on the swim team, and when I saw this, I was like, holy crap.
Miss Alice, back to you, 2014. Let's be fast here, because we are on the hour now.
2014, Israel and Hamas agreed to a 72-hour humanitarian ceasefire.
All right.
Also, in same day, same year, in 2014, the U.S. Agreed to resupply arms to Israel, including rocket launchers, mortar rounds, grenades, despite condemnation of civil casualties in Gaza.
Yep. Israel is a conqueror's nation, murdering everybody around them to take their
I
land.
could care less about fashion here, but yeah, we're gonna keep going here.
2016, I have one here. There you go.
Yeah, I was actually about to read that one myself because I was like, the rest of them,
All
I
right.
don't care about sports. 2016, Yuriko Koki is the first woman to be elected Tokyo governor.
All right. Gonna move on to what's up? Why are you
No, I
awing?
saw
Oh,
the,
Harry
I saw
Potter.
the, I saw J.K. Rowling. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
you
care.
wanna read that one?
Go.
2016, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, played by a Jack Thorne, was with contribution by J.K. Rowling, premieres at Palace Theatre in London. I've never even heard about that.
I think that was like, because it's specifically about like when Harry Potter got cursed. I think, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. He is the Cursed Child. Like,
Well, they never made a movie of it. They made.
well, no, it's a
movies of all
play.
the other
Like, it's
books.
not a movie. It's a play. It's supposed to be like a little prequel, but like, there's not enough. There's not enough meat to make a movie out of it, so
Well,
they just
isn't
make a play.
Fantastic? Well, isn't Fantastic Beasts like a prequel to Harry Potter as well?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but we got to go on
Yeah,
up here.
let's keep moving
2018, Facebook disclosed and removed Russian-linked network of sites attempting to interfere in U.S. politics. That sounds like BS.
damn.
No, that sounds like BS in order to point the finger at Trump. You know?
Yep.
Because
Yeah. Well, this is 2 years after he was elected,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
year and a half or so.
2018 as
After
well, Rihanna became the first black woman to appear on the cover of British Vogue's September issue. All right.
he was elected. Isn't she from Trinidad?
I think you are right. No, Barbadan.
Barbados.
Antiguan
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Barbudan. Maybe Trinidad? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway,
Let's-
2019, U.S. officials announced Osama bin Laden's son, Hasma bin Laden, and potential successor had been killed in U.S. airstrikes in Pakistan. All right. What else do we have here? 2019 as well. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered Russian army to help put out huge wildfires in Siberia covering 3 million hectares, or 7.4 million acres, after 700,000 people signed a petition. Okay.
So we actually helped for a fire. Yeah, Siberia can get the same kind of thing we do.
Well, we actually have several more fire articles here. Back to you, Miss Alice, in 2020, and I remember some of these actually.
Oh yes, in 2020 we have the Apple wildfire starts near Beaumont, California, forcing the evacuation of near 8,000 people over the next few days.
Yikes.
We also have, like in 2021, we have the American swimmer Caleb Desi wins 100 meter butterfly in with a time of 49.45 seconds at the Tokyo Olympics. Completes 100 meter freestyle butterfly double.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh
Hold on a
shit.
second.
Yeah,
this one.
but-
This is what I wanted you to read. Actually, sorry. I kind of
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like,
there.
so we got 2021 here. This is 2 years ago. We have the first mixed gender event to feature an Olympic swim program. Great Britain team of Kathleen Dawson and Adam Peely, James Guy, and Ann Hopkin wins mixed 4x100 medley relay with a time of 3:37:58 in Tokyo. That's actually cool. Like, you know, if we had a mixed team where women and men are working together in sports, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
However, if it's like individuals, women and men, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there.
Well, I
Well,
remember,
like in tennis, they have mixed doubles.
yeah. Well, I remember when they
Yeah.
were talking about this, like, this is 2 years ago on this date, but I remember before that, when they were talking about that, I'm just like, how the hell are you going to judge, like, mixed teams? Like, because physically, because men and women, we do different parts,
Well,
like,
this is time. This isn't judging. This
yeah.
is speed.
Well, that's why I was trying to wrap my head around, how you can do things, because everything's always split. You know, there's always like, you know, the NBA, the WNBA, you know, the men's this, the women's that, you know, and then like, but as you said, you know, the tennis doubles, you know, but like mixed things, you know, it's really, you know, not much of a like really often used, but you know, it's really interesting, and I'd like to see how we go forward, you know, with this mindset. But let's. I'm gonna rattle off these.
A woman got invited to try out in the NBA once.
Huh.
She got an invitation to summer camp.
You know, I'm not against women in the NBA
No,
if they can
didn't
perform.
make it, obviously.
If they can perform, you know, like
you get between the lines and you gotta do it or get off the court.
Yeah.
In any sport.
Yeah. Anyway, we have 2022, just last year, Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri, who helped plan the 9/11 attacks, was killed in a CIA drone strike in Kabul, Afghanistan. U.S. President Joe Biden, you know, called it group's biggest blow since Osama bin Laden was killed. I regret saying that. Brandon, like not my president, not a president at all. 2022 as well, the McKinley Fire at Kalma National Forest became California's largest fire of the year at 51,000 acres, fueled by high temperatures and strong winds, forcing evacuations. And then, last but not least, 2022 as well. Women's Euro 2022, England defeated Germany 2-1 in extra time in front of biggest ever Euro crowd of 87,192 people at Wembley, London. Nice. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar in the description below for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Please check out our link tree. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 p.m. Central.
And 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I am the lovely Who is Alice.
And the Golden Moon.
And for a time being, we had what's his name in the live studio audience, whoever you are. And of course, you viewer are you. So until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles.
Toodles.